Hi, and welcome back to Chandra Sounds. So today we are going to take a look at one of the beats that I made yesterday on the Tempest. We are going to listen to the whole 8-bar loop together using all of the voices here. And we're also going to take a look at the patterns, take a look at the sounds, etc., etc. And in part 2, we will import this to Logic Pro X and add effects and maybe create more of a full song or a full beat. So this is basically how it sounds right now. Okay, so that was 8-bar loop. And for all of you haters out there hating on my kick. Oh, sorry. Okay, I admit it. This kick is not perfect. This kick is not full enough or hard hitting enough for maybe your beat. And but don't take this beat as an evidence that the kick drum on the Tempest is not good enough. I'm not a super pro with the Tempest, and to be honest, I make sounds that fit the beat that I'm creating or works for the purpose of the actual song. I'm not making a drum kit for you. So let's take a look at the sounds on the Tempest that I have created that we will make this full beat out of. So this is the kick drum. So this is made out of, let's take a look here, triangle wave, and using some low pass cutoff here and opening it up with the envelope, low pass envelope, and a little bit of pitch drop here. And that makes it pew, pew. So you will have a more hard-hitting attack, and it still will have this full bassy sound later in the sound. Okay, so it smacks and it boo, yeah. And for the ghost notes, you will maybe create a shorter bass drum based on maybe the same oscillator as I did, the triangle wave. And the only thing I did here is shortening the envelope, not opening it as much with the low pass envelope, the filter envelope, and yeah. Yeah, so if you want real drum sounds, go buy a freaking drum kit and play the freaking drums, okay? If you want synthetic drum sounds, buy the freaking Tempest. Or you can be a coward and go buy a rhythm from Electron. No, just kidding. The rhythm is probably a super cool drum machine. I'm just joking because some of you guys hate on the Tempest, you know. And yeah. So why did I tune the snare like that? Why does it have such a full sounding tone to it? Why isn't it more like just noise? Because most people would want the snare drum to not have too much tone to it. However, I have tuned the snare drum. It's a square wave or pulse wave at 50%, and it's using a fifth above the root note because this is a D, and the D is the root note of the scale and key that I'm using here. So the key is D, the scale is major, the snare is a fifth above. And the cool thing about using a fifth above is it's kind of a power chord when you're playing them together. And the hi-hat shouldn't be tuned. Well, you can tune the hi-hat as well if you want to, but then it doesn't sound anything like a hi-hat. The hi-hat here is just white noise, short envelope, snappy envelope, maybe adding some resonance with a 4-pole filter here, and it kind of the resonance can make it kind of hear through the mix a little bit more if you want to. And this is actually, if we're in 16 tunings mode, it's kind of a like tuned toms. It's not a real sounding tom, but it serves its purpose. That's the main reason why I use the Tempest. I create sounds that serves its purpose, and I can design it exactly how I want it to, based on what kind of song I want to make. So I could add some more noise or something, but I made it basic. So making very basic sounds is a good way to have a starting point, and then just add on with effects and noise and modulation and stuff like that. So, and let's take a listen to all of these sounds one at a time. We will go to 16 tunings mode and unmute everything except the bass drum. So as you can hear, I'm using triplets here and adding the ghost notes. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so maybe we'll add some hi-hats, and the hi-hats is a little bit off in a way. I tried to make it a little bit more alive with a little bit more off hi-hat. Good. Yeah. So that was the drums, and we have sorry. Let's listen to it with the toms. Yeah. Fake toms, okay? I'm not trying to make real ones. Dun dun dun, bum bum dun 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 dun, bum bum dun dun. And then we will have the arpeggio going underneath there, creating more rhythm, stability, and stuff like that. Take a listen to this. And the cool thing is, when I import all of this to Logic Pro X, I can mute and unmute all of this stuff and do some ducking, maybe some compression, some reverb, and wow, you can really make some changes to this. And let's add a melodic element here. Let's listen to that. So all of these sounds are using different voices. If we go to sound mode here and go to the mod path and down to the voices, you can see that both of the kick drums are using voice 1, the snare is using voice 2, and I'm actually using voice 2 for this one as well. And the bad thing about that is that the snare steals voices from the melodic part here, so it kind of interrupts some of the melody here. And but I did it on purpose, actually, because I didn't want it to clutter the whole feel of the beat, and I want to maybe I can do it on the Logic Pro X later. I can add more melodic parts. Maybe let's take a look. And the next sound here, the toms, is on voice 3. The arpeggio is on voice 4, and the arpeggio actually has some bass to it. If we go to 16 tunings mode, it's a little bit clicky. You can hear the clicky sound sometimes in the beginning of the sound or in the ending of the sound. You can do some changes to the attack and the release of the sound to kind of get rid of the worst parts of the clickiness. Let's take a listen to the last sound here. Sorry, I will unmute it. And 16. Okay, let's take a listen to this. Okay, so as you could hear, these are one voice chords. So basically, when I'm hitting this pad, it plays 3 different notes at the same time. And to do that, we will go to oscillator 1 here, and as you can see, it's in D3. And the next oscillator is in F sharp 3, so it's a third above. It's actually a major third above. The second oscillator is a major third above the first oscillator, and the third oscillator is actually a fifth above. So that makes a normal major chord triad. Yeah. And the second sound here is also a chord. I'm not going too deep into this now. Yeah. And this is basically what I have used to create this beat. And what we're going to do in part 2 is to add all of these parts recorded to Logic Pro X, divided in different groups, different parts, and add some effects to it, whatever. Yeah, and then maybe it's a full song, maybe it's a full beat, maybe it's something in between. Maybe I will upload it to Spotify, we'll see. And yeah, if you want to watch the part 2 of this video, you would have to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video so far, you could always like it, and see you next time.